What is going on, movie meals? Star Wars The Last Jedi finally came. We're here for a non-spoiler review. Spoiler review will be up on the channel as well as a vlog. All coming on that Sunday night, Monday, because got done with finals the same week as Star Wars. It's been a long week.
It's been rough for everyone else but me.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's just get right into this. Non-spoiler review, guys. Non-spoilers. We're not going to spoil anything, which is going to make this review tough. So I'll start. Positives of this movie, guys. All right. I've only seen it once. I want to throw that out first. I've seen it once. I haven't gotten to see it again. And from everything I'm hearing, my brother's seen it a few times. Critics have seen it a few times and say it gets better as it keeps going. And I loved it coming out of it. So I'm hoping to really enjoy it more the more I see it. So take everything I say with a grain of salt because I haven't seen it a second time yet. But I thought the performances were outstanding, especially by... I thought they were all great, but the people who stole the show were Daisy Ridley as Rey, Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, and my boy Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, and Leia a little bit. Carrie Fisher's Leia, I thought she delivered a really great performance, and I think Rian Johnson directed the heck out of this movie. I think it's an insane, amazing film. I think he did a great job. I just love some of the visuals, guys, in this movie are breathtaking for Star Wars fans, for just fans of movies and beauty in general. Like,
I love beauty.
Some of the shots are insanely gorgeous, and it's very well directed, and I just had a blast as a Star Wars fan. I came out raving, and I've not been able to stop thinking and talking about this movie, which makes me love it so much more. I think it's one of the more smarter Star Wars films. It's filled with so much foreshadowing, and I just love it, guys. So out of the performances, the visual effects were great. I really enjoyed it, so my hat's off to Rian Johnson. Sorry we can't get more into it, but that's what it is.
The thing about The Last Jedi that I really loved is that it didn't just feel like another epic Star Wars movie. It did have that little bit of those flavors, but what it really felt like is that it felt like multiple character pieces throughout this whole movie. And you see these character pieces go up in the film with the interactions between the characters, especially from between Rey and Kylo Ren, as well as between... Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker and Rey. I thought all of those connections that they have with each other as characters were very fun to watch, and they really dived into a little bit more of the Star Wars lore, what the Force means in general. This movie answers a lot of questions, but still
leaves a lot of questions.
Yeah, and fans might be very hit or miss on what answers.
It's been intense, guys.
We will get into that with our spoiler review, but that for me, I loved it. I love getting all these different questions. I like getting some answers addressed to me, and this was a very major character piece. And I think the real reason why it feels like it's a character piece is because of the director Rian Johnson. When you watch a movie of his, like Looper, for instance, it's not just an action movie. Like, these characters have just such hidden layers in themselves, and throughout this movie, you really see a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of hidden layers in the characters, as well as the story itself. Like, it really leaves you coming out of the theater not just raving about all the stuff that you loved about the movie, but it really makes you sit down and think about what you saw, what it means for you as a Star Wars fan, what the lore of Star Wars means for you as a viewer, as a fan in general. And I thought that's one of the biggest positives of this movie. It wasn't just another action film in the Star Wars universe. It actually was a Star Wars movie that made you think a little bit more. And like Alex said previously, the shots look amazing. There's so many scenes I think as Star Wars fans or as movie fans in general, it will really make them remember for years to come. Yeah,
so guys, I do have negatives as we're doing this. The middle of the film with Finn's storyline, if you've seen the film, I love Finn. I think it's an interesting storyline, but I don't think it belonged in this movie. Okay. I think there could have been different directions you could have taken to make some scenes a little bit more climactic, but outside of that, I really don't have many negatives. It's just, it's really that middle thing where it's like, oh, okay, and on the Blu-ray, that might be something it's like, I wouldn't mind fast-forwarding through this part. But I love the relationships between everyone. I even love the relationship between Finn and Rose that a lot of people are very upset with. But I actually really enjoyed it, and to an extent, but the middle of the movie, trying not to spoil anything here.
It's really
hard.
The
middle of the movie, parts of the middle of the movie, I just didn't hit hard with me. I wanted more of some characters that we didn't get. So yeah, just guys, let's go check out the spoiler review so I can get more deep into it. So what are your low-key negatives?
As much as I liked some of the interactions between the characters, such as like Poe's interactions with some characters as well as Finn's interactions, it showed us a little bit more about them as characters. But really, for the entirety of the movie, some of their storylines were not that necessary, and it also made me worried that they're just characters that we don't know what to do with them for the future movies, which is a shame, because I really like these characters in The Force Awakens, and I did like them in The Last Jedi, but it kind of felt like after a while they kind of just hit a wall with what to do with them, so that does make me a little bit nervous. I did feel like that the beginning of the movie is kind of a little bit hard to get into, but there is a certain part in the movie at the end of the first act where it does really hit the nail on the head and it really does get you going. But other than that, though, I had a great time, not just seeing the movie, but waiting in line, talking with Star Wars fans, having a blast, and that's what Star Wars is. It's just a franchise that you just dive in so deep, and it's just fun coming up with all these theories.
Yeah, the theories, everything.
All these theories, like what's this, what's that, what the franchise means to you as a viewer, and that's really what I took away, especially in The Last Jedi as well. So mostly just nitpicky stuff that, at least for me, they're nitpicky, but really I just like the story in general a lot.
So, rating out of 10. Guys, please go check out our spoiler review if you want to know our real deep thoughts, especially by mega Star Wars fan here. Right now, having seen it one time, the more I think about it, the more I like it. I'm going to stick with my initial rating coming out of the theater, though, which was a 9 out of 10.
All right.
Guys, by the time I see this 4 more times, this could be a 10 out of 10 for me. And if it is, I'll do my own video explaining why. But right now, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. A little bit different than The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens had the nostalgia punch that hit you right in the face, and now you don't have that. So you have a little bit, but not as much. So it doesn't, when I gave that a 10 out of 10, to me in Star Wars is like, to most movies is a 10 out of, like, I just love this movie, guys. I love Star Wars. I enjoyed it. It took me back to being 7 years old. So it had jaw-dropping moments, so guys, go check out the spoiler review.
And I think I'm right there with you. I will give this a 9 out of 10 as well. It's been a while since we had rated the same, I think. So
especially for Star Wars!
Yeah, especially for Star Wars. No, for me, I really enjoyed this as a continuation of the franchise, but also as a standalone movie in general. And yeah, watch a spoiler review. I think, especially this man right here, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about.
We're going to film it back to back, so we're going to film it right. We've already filmed it. Is when we film this, so it's coming out quick. All right, guys. First of all, I need a porg. Second of all, Mom, thanks for watching.
See you guys. Go watch Star Wars.